Hi, I'm Shelley Maurer,
And I'm Cher Emmerich. Welcome to Life Lessons from Pickleball,
where we engage with pickleball players from around the world about life on and off the court.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Life Lessons from Pickleball, everyone. How lucky are we to have Brian De Herrera as our guest today? Brian, you are a retired special education teacher, which absolutely touches my heart, and you're a high school basketball coach and currently working as a realtor in Colorado and Arizona, and you love pickleball. We are so glad you're with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I had the privilege of playing with you, Brian, in Colorado when I was there visiting my daughter in Denver. That's what I love about pickleball. We can always find a
Yeah.
game and meet interesting people.
Yeah.
And when Shelley came back from her trip, she said, "Oh, Cher, I met one of the most interesting people."
Yeah, I was in Denver playing mixed doubles and against Brian, and we had a really fun game. And when the game was over, the guy next to me turned to me and he said, "Can you believe how good Brian plays with only one leg?" And I was stunned because not only had I not noticed, but he was such a great player moving around the court and was so agile. And I was just in awe. And I thought, well, Brian's got to be on my podcast because he'll be such an inspiration for people to hear his story.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. My former brother-in-law is an amputee too, and I really appreciate that you are sharing your story. And I know you have a 10-year ampuversary coming up.
That is correct. In October, it was my 10-year.
Awesome.
So,
Well,
yeah.
Can you share with us your story?
Yeah. So I got married to my wife, my current wife, about 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago. And maybe it's 11. Anyway, we went to Cancun for not a honeymoon, but kind of a few months later. And I picked up a bacterial infection in Cancun. I had a blister on my foot. And bottom line is, we came back from Cancun and I got sick. I thought it was just the flu or something like that, but it wasn't. And so I had various days where my hip hurt me, my back hurt me, my ankle hurt me. We got back from Mexico on a Saturday. By that Thursday, my ankle had swollen up. And so I thought, I better go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room and they aspirated my ankle and they said, "We're going to take you to the hospital and you're going to have surgery tonight."
Whoa.
I said, "Well, on what?" My back, my hip, and they said, "We're going to clean out your ankle. I mean, you have a bacterial infection. We don't know what it is, but it's not good." So I said, "Okay." And they actually said if I had gotten there a few hours later, I probably wouldn't be alive. But
goodness.
At any rate, it took I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks. They were trying to find the right antibiotic to fight this bacterial infection. It got to the point where my temperature got up to 105.6.
Whoa.
And I will tell you this, a nurse saved my life because she was the night nurse and the day nurse. I said, "Isn't my temperature too high? I mean, shouldn't we be doing something?" And she says, "Oh, I think it's okay. We'll let the doctor know." But then the night nurse came in and she said, "Oh no, not on my watch." And she proceeded to pack me down with ice everywhere. Anyway, she saved my life that night, though I was freezing, but she still saved my life. And then they found the right antibiotic that was working. It was very expensive. I remember it was $1,200 a day for this antibiotic.
Oh, good.
Wow.
And I was on a PICC line for 6 months. And so I
a PICC
got
line,
out of the
for
hospital.
those who don't know, what's a PICC line?
A PICC line it goes, through your arm directly to your heart, and they use that as a port to feed what the medication.
And you're in the
So it goes
hospital
right.
all that time, the 6
Well,
months?
no, I was only in the hospital for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
I got out, then they wanted to do another surgery, got out, and one more surgery before the end of the year. But I had to go and pick up my antibiotics every week. I'd come home with this load to put in the refrigerator, and then I could just hook it up to the port so that I could put it in the pick line myself. I did that until March of that year. So from October to March,
Goodness.
they finally cleared me from that whole situation. So then I started, trying to exercise and trying to get back in shape and trying to just do more. And it was okay, and it was progressing. But around June, and see, just to kind of give you a backstory, I have neuropathy in
Oh, you do?
my feet, in
Uh-huh.
both of my legs. So I can't always feel things as much,
Oh.
especially on the periphery.
Yep.
But during the month of June, I was hiking and doing some things, and I went on a hike, and my ankle hurt like crazy. It just hurt real bad. And so for me to feel that, number one,
Yeah.
was unusual because of my neuropathy, but it hurt. And so I went to the doctor, and they said, well, we can rebuild your ankle. Okay. And they would get a second opinion. So I went to what the place was called the Limb Preservation Foundation, and their doctors. And so they looked at it, and the doctor said, first of all, if you didn't have neuropathy, you wouldn't be walking around. You'd be in too much pain.
Oh.
You'd be in a wheelchair.
Oh.
But I was just trying to still do everything I could do. I was riding my bike. I was trying to do the things that didn't hurt so much. So at any rate, after that, around, late August, I kind of came to the decision. I had to meet with 5 different types of doctors: a psychologist, a physiatrist, a psychiatrist, a physical rehab doctor, and then the doctor that would perform the amputation. And they, as a team, decided whether I was a good candidate for this. But I knew that my zest for life and how much I wanted to play, if you will, that they said, yeah, he's a good candidate. And I got to tell you, so then, within the next 2 months, I had the amputation in that October. So a year later from when I got sick, I had the amputation, and it was the best decision I could have made.
Wow.
The best, because my quality of life is every bit as good now, and maybe even better in some ways, than it was before the amputation. So, I looked at it as an opportunity to be able to move and be able to do the things I love. And so I've been able to do that. I haven't let anything slow me down. So we hike and bike and I play a lot of pickleball. Every day I play pickleball.
So before we ask about the pickleball, what prosthesis do you use? Or do you?
Well, I have a below knee. It's a below knee amputation. So
Okay.
I have, just to get an idea, this is my pickleball leg. So
Oh,
I
right.
use this for pickleball. And
Awesome.
it's all about the foot more than anything else. But
Right.
then this is the socket that I use to go into. But it's I play softball here because I live here in Arizona 6 months, and so I play softball and I play pickleball and I play golf and I do everything that everybody else does.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's so cool.
What was the learning curve?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because when you have an amputation, you don't really know what you don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So my very first socket that I was fitted in, I didn't like it, and it didn't fit right. And but I didn't know how good it could be or not be. I didn't know about the types of foot. I didn't know about the different types of sockets that you can have. And so, again, you just don't know what you don't know. And so I went to some support groups through the University of Colorado. I went to one there. And then there's a group that I'm a part of called LIM 359, which means live in motion 359 days a year. And then the other 6 days, you can be a couch potato. So I'm a part of that group, and they're both amputee support groups, but they come from two different points of view. We actually run a children's camp for children with amputations in the summer, and so of course pickleball is part of that camp, especially for the older kids. So we do that, but it's just been a blessing. It's been an opportunity for me to give back to others, give back to those children, and they see me, and I see it's wonderful. It's just a great reciprocity in what we are doing. So
awesome.
So once you got the socket that fit right, then was it just natural then? Everything was easy?
well, I wouldn't say that. I think
Okay.
there was a progression. I had to, basically get a divorce from my first prosthetist. So I had him for about 2 or 3 months, and I don't know. I just wondered if there wasn't something better.
Yeah.
And someone connected me with recommended somebody else, and I thought I'm just going to go in and see what they say and what they offer, and it sounded good to me because they were able to make my socket in a day, and it fit so much better because it's really all about the fit, how well it fits. And a person with amputation shrinks up during the day. So a lot of times when I'm playing pickleball and it's hot out or it's warm out, I have to take off my sleeve and dry out and then put back my sleeve on and then add some sock ply to make it thicker because your leg shrinks up a little bit during the day.
Yeah.
And so, I've gotten used to that, and it's been great. I found a prosthetist that, got me into a real good foot, which was half the battle, that could rotate a little bit, that would help me turn a little bit. And this one it's called an All Pro, and it has a little more flexibility. It's a little more soft, if you will. I can run faster, and I can play pickleball a little better with it too.
How did you first come to know pickleball? Were you playing before your amputation?
Yes. I mean, I was playing before my amputation, not very much, a little bit here and there. I mean, it wasn't as popular as it is now, of course, but, I started, and I'd play maybe once a week. I kind of liked it, at an indoor facility, nothing big. I didn't really start playing until, once we bought a place in Arizona, and we have 22 pickleball courts here in our community.
Oh, wow. We're jealous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's heaven.
Oh.
And, and of course, in Colorado, I mean, we have the pickleball courts Shelley played at there at Clement Park, which is real nice.
Yeah.
And so, me and my wife, we play pretty much every day. My wife has really excelled, and I mean, I'm trying to keep up with her, but we played in a tournament, our club tournament here in November, and her and we lost in the bronze medal match.
Hey, though, good job.
3.5. It was 3.5.
Awesome.
But, still trying to get better and better and better and improve. And I don't know, for me, that's what I want. I want to continue to enjoy every moment of life that I have, because you just don't know. I came close to losing my life.
You
and
did.
So I look at the opportunity to live a more fuller life with a full heart. Being able to, I think that's one of the things I love so much about being here in Arizona too, is it's a retirement type of community, and so all of our friends have kind of come from pickleball here, and so we travel with them. The friendships have really grown. I'm really trying to be intentional about getting to know people and getting to know their stories and listening to them, and really just trying to live a fulfilling life here.
That's
So,
beautiful.
yeah, thank you.
That is. Where exactly are you in Arizona?
We are in Northwest Phoenix in Surprise,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona, and it's a community called the Grand. Like if you've heard of Sun City, there's Sun City, Sun
Yeah.
City West. We're called the Grand. We used to be called Sun City Grand, but they changed the name to be just the Grand,
The Grand.
and that's where we are.
That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
What would you say are some of the biggest challenges you've had just in life, and maybe with an amputation or even without the amputation? What would you say have been some of your
Boy,
challenges?
you don't ask easy questions, do you? No, the biggest challenges in life are the thing is I found that everybody has a story.
Yeah.
Everybody has obstacles to overcome. Everybody has something. And
Yes.
so, part of why we're here on this earth, I believe, is to support each other and on this journey called life, that we can take it, one day at a time, and know that there are storms coming. There are bad storms coming, and you take those one at a time. You take them one day at a time, and you get through them. So for me, having been married for 22 years and going through divorce,
Yeah.
that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had to overcome.
Yes.
But that was something that I had to overcome. But then looking back on it, had I not gone through that, I would not have met my wife
Good
that
point.
I have.
Yes.
And she is one of the most amazing women I have ever known. I am blessed tenfold because of her. She's incredible, emotionally intelligent like no other,
Oh,
and but she really is. We're a good team. We're a real good team.
awesome.
But yeah, so those are some of the challenges, and obviously, I just it's like if someone says to me, "Oh, you can't do that," it makes me want to do it. Okay, all right. Let me just see if I can do that. I mean, I have to laugh because with my current softball team, you can have what's called runners, so that like if you get a base hit and you can get to first base on your own, then someone can come in and run for you.
Yeah.
All right. On our team, there's two of us that really do most of the running. The one-legged guy, that's me, and a 90-year-old. We're the runners.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is so good.
Yeah. So
we've talked with the co-authors of a book called In a Pickle about how to play with your loved one on the court without wanting to kill each other.
Well, I'll tell you what. Have you guys read the book, The Pickleball Mindset?
I haven't read that yet.
Okay, let me tell you. This is a book you should get.
Okay.
It is so good and so deep with really life lessons in pickleball, because it's all about that mental part of your game and the mental part of life. And when you think about it, and then of course you probably saw this book over the weekend. Did you
Yeah. Inner
Okay,
excellence.
from that was one of the football players in the NFL playoffs was
Was
reading that on
reading
the
it.
sideline.
Yes.
So, so I went ahead and ordered it. It's good so far. I really like it. But at any rate, I just feel like pickleball gives us, for me and my wife especially, it gives us an opportunity to really compete at a high level and to try to continue to grow and improve and get better, but yet at the same time to appreciate your opponents and appreciate the people you play with. I just so enjoy the social interactions of talking with people and their stories and seeing what everybody else has to overcome. And yes, I've had some things to overcome, and mine are a little more, obvious, if you will.
Mhm.
But there's just as many things that other people have that we can't see.
Right.
Of trials and tribulations that they've gone through, and it's so interesting because so many people, they don't share, they don't want to be vulnerable or open up. But when we do that, there's a fullness and there's a relief of sharing a burden with somebody and listening and caring, where that other person feels strengthened and encouraged. And so I really think that's part of the role that I have in life, is to do that with others. And I really like it. I like to talk to people. I like to listen to them. I like to hear their stories and ask them questions and see where they've come from. And so it's important because, I mean, like I said, we only go through this life once, and so let's hold on and walk on this journey together, because it's a lot easier with someone than by
Mhm.
yourself.
So true. And you
Yeah.
have such a heart, a special education teacher heart.
Yeah. That's right.
And
Thank you.
right, Shelley? Oh my gosh.
Right.
And
Right.
I
And he sees that there's more to pickleball than just winning the game.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's what I love. Right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, trash talk is my love language. I mean, I love to, I love to kid people and tease them, and have a good time and be able to laugh. And
Yeah.
that's, to me, half the battle. I enjoy that so much. But I just enjoy pickleball a lot.
It really touches my heart that I do see you as one of your roles on this planet is to open the hearts of others. I mean, the fact that you're willing to be open-hearted, that's what gives everyone else permission to be open-hearted as well. And it means a lot to me that that's something that you embrace and have shared on so many levels. And certainly it seems your amputation kind of opens the door even wider, because people would be inclined to want to hear your story, and then you can hear their story, and it's an interesting dynamic of what you've gone
Mhm.
through.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people will ask, sometimes they'll say, well, if you don't mind me asking, how did you
Uh-huh.
lose your leg? I mean,
Uh-huh.
that'll happen at times, but, uh, for the most part, some people, they don't, like Shelley, she didn't even notice
Right.
No.
that I
Right.
didn't have a leg until
Yeah.
later on. So, um, but
And there's
everybody has accepted me here and knows me, and,
heck yeah.
they just know me. So,
Yeah. And there's so much more to your story than the fact that you had an amputation. I mean, it's just
yeah.
that life stories, like you said, no matter where we've been, what we're doing, we all have stories. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. And I guess, part of what I love doing is just helping people, whether,
Mm.
whether it's teaching the game of pickleball or, as a realtor. I love first time home buyers because it's like I'm teaching them every little step of the way,
Ah.
that reminds me of when I used to teach. And I also teach college. I still teach
Oh.
college.
Oh.
I work for Colorado Christian University, and I work as one of their instructors for student teachers and so I have students that I'll observe online, watching them teach, and giving them pointers and stuff like that. But it's just kind of a side gig that I have.
Brilliant.
That I enjoy. But I enjoy, so I play a lot, I work a little, and I just try to enjoy life.
That's a good balance.
Yeah, that's a great balance.
Play a lot, work a little. So what would you say is one important life lesson that you have learned either on the court that you're taking into your life, or you've learned in life that you actually use on the court?
That's good. I think it's the thought and the idea of being really present in the moment, because it's so easy to come into a game and think, oh gosh, so and so's better than me, and you do that comparison thing. You start comparing back and forth, and it's like comparison never is a good idea.
Nope.
And so then I'm not focused on the point at hand. I'm not focused on this play right now. And so as I look at that, just trying to be present in the moment with focus and intentionality. I'm focusing on this serve. I'm really focusing on, getting up to the net or whatever it is. I want to be present. And I think of that in life. It's like I want to be present when I'm talking to people so they feel I'm listening to them. I want to be present in the moments that matter with my daughter or with my granddaughter. I want to be there for them. And if I can do that, then that's what life's all about.
That's everything.
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. When you said that today, that was me on the pickleball court. Oh no, she used to be a D1 basketball player. She's better than me. Oh, like doing that kind of stuff, comparing, which is so bad. And you're, like you said, you're not in the present moment. You just need to be in the present moment.
Yeah.
And not compare. Do
And
your
no
best.
comparison. Yeah.
No.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and because, everybody's at a different place. That's the other thing about pickleball. There's so many different levels. And, it's great to play against people that are better than you because you rise to that level and you push yourself a little bit and it stretches you.
Yeah.
But it's also good to play with people that aren't as good as you, because then you can help them and guide them and encourage them. And so, that's the great thing about pickleball is there's so many different people that you can be around and be involved with to both help you, that will help you and support you, as well as that you can then turn around and help the other person.
Right.
Nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Yeah.
No, and what's so great is we can do it at our age.
I know. And even years from now.
It's like being a kid. When I'm here in Arizona, it's like I'm going to camp when I was a kid, and all we do is play. Okay, all right, I got golf on Wednesday. I got softball on Monday. I got pickleball. I got a group on, from 2:30 to. I mean, it's like our schedules are more busy here now than. And not to mention all the other things that I want to do. Yeah. That I know I want to be challenged with. And my wife, she's doing stained glass and she's doing, I don't know, all these club things that it's like there's so much to do here. And so it's so fun.
Oh, man. That's life. If you can make it fun and community and open-hearted. And I love your life lesson to be in the present moment. Wow, if we could all do that all day long, wouldn't this world be a different place? Thank you. Thank you for, especially thank you as you're being a teacher for special education and for the way you continue to share your heart and your story, and you invite others to share theirs. I don't know how many good listeners there are in the world, but boy, when we come across a good listener, it just touches everyone's heart. So thank you for that.
Well, believe me, I've had lots of lessons in that from my wife. She'll tell me if I'm not listening. Okay, honey.
She's also a good teacher.
Yeah, she was
Oh,
actually a teacher herself,
oh,
so
she is.
she was. I mean,
Oh,
she used to teach sign language.
oh,
Oh,
brilliant,
nice.
Taught ASL, and
brilliant.
she worked for quite a few years at a high school, and then she went to the School of the Deaf and taught at that school in Texas and in Mississippi. So she's had a good career.
Wow, you two make a
But
good pair.
yeah,
That's
she's a good lady.
and she's lucky too. I'm so glad.
Yeah,
Brian, thank you very much for joining
you're
us
very welcome.
today. Shelley was just over the moon when she came back, and it's so fun for me to meet you. And I suspect you all will be playing again next time she's in Denver.
Well, I
Yes.
hope so. When are you coming back to Denver?
I'm just in and out whenever I can get there to see my grandkids. So,
How
Thank
many
you.
grandkids
Oh,
you got there?
two.
Two.
Yeah, in
Nice.
Inglewood.
one just recently born too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
not far from that park. So that's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Well,
Great.
thank you so much, Brian.
You're very welcome.
Really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
thank you all. Oh my gosh, how inspired are you? You must be very inspired. So share your stories and be really good listeners for other people's stories too. And we'll see you on the court. Looking forward to our conversation next week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
If you love our podcast, we'd be so grateful if you'd take a few seconds to follow or subscribe to Life Lessons from Pickleball. This ensures you'll never miss an episode and helps us continue these wonderful conversations.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen, go to the show page and tap the follow button in the top right corner. And on YouTube, click the subscribe button under any of the episodes.
Thanks so much. Hope to see you on the court.